The car was found within minutes. Maura Murray was not. On the night of February 9, 2004, a black Saturn sat damaged near a snowbank on Route 112 in Haverhill, New Hampshire. The airbags had deployed. The front end was damaged. Personal belongings were still inside. Alcohol was found in the vehicle. The doors were reportedly locked when police examined it. But the 21-year-old woman who had been driving it was gone. That is the central problem in the disappearance of Maura Murray. Not simply that she crashed. Not simply that she left campus without telling her family exactly where she was going. The part that still resists explanation is the timing. A neighbor noticed the crash. A school bus driver stopped and spoke to her. Police were called. Help was already on the way. And somewhere in that short window, Maura disappeared from a rural New Hampshire road without a confirmed ride, without a confirmed trail into the woods, and without a confirmed sighting of her walking away. Before Route 112 became one of the most examined scenes in modern missing person history, Maura Murray was a nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. She was 21 years old, athletic, and disciplined. She had been a standout runner and had once attended the United States Military Academy at West Point before transferring to UMass. By early 2004, her life was under pressure. Public records and later reporting describe academic stress, personal stress, and recent incidents that may have weighed on her. In the days before she vanished, she had been involved in a car accident while driving her father's Toyota Corolla in Massachusetts. Her father, Fred Murray, later said he believed Maura was under stress, but he rejected the idea that stress alone explained what happened to her. What investigators know about February 9th begins in Amherst. That Monday, Maura contacted professors and her work supervisor. She said there had been a death in the family and that she would be away for about a week. Her family later said there had been no such death. That message matters because it suggests she was preparing to leave. It does not explain why. It does not establish where she intended to go. It only shows that before the crash, Maura was creating space for an absence. Other actions that day point in the same direction. Maura searched or researched directions connected to northern destinations, including areas in Vermont and New Hampshire. She packed belongings into her Saturn. She withdrew about $280 from an ATM. Surveillance footage from that ATM, released years later, showed her alone. She also purchased alcohol before leaving Massachusetts. By late afternoon, she was driving north. There is no confirmed evidence that she told her family her destination. There is no confirmed public evidence that she had arranged to meet someone in New Hampshire. Her phone records and other records have been examined for years, but no clear public explanation has established the plan behind the trip. The road she eventually reached was Route 112, also known as Wild Almonousuk Road. It runs through a rural part of Haverhill, New Hampshire, with woods, scattered homes, snowbanks, and long stretches of darkness. In February at night, a person on foot would face cold temperatures, poor visibility, and limited shelter. But this was not empty wilderness. There were homes nearby. People saw or heard parts of the event. That is part of what makes the case so difficult. Maura did not vanish from a remote trail where no one knew she had been. She vanished beside a disabled car near residences after speaking to a witness while emergency response was already in motion. At approximately 7:27 p.m., a resident near Route 112 heard or noticed a crash. Maura's Saturn had gone into a snowbank near a sharp curve. The vehicle had front-end damage. A neighbor called authorities. Soon after, a local school bus driver named Butch Atwood came upon the scene. He stopped and spoke with the young woman at the car. His account, widely reported, was that she appeared shaken, but not seriously injured. He offered to call police. According to his statements, she asked him not to, and said she had already contacted roadside assistance. That statement became important because cell service in the area was poor. Later information suggested Maura likely could not have made that call from the crash site. Atwood then drove to his nearby home and called 911. Dispatch had already received a call about the crash. Police were sent to the scene. From that moment, the timeline tightens. Reports vary slightly on exact times, and some details of the emergency response have been debated for years. But the basic sequence is clear. The crash was reported around 7:27 to 7:29 p.m. Law enforcement arrived within roughly the next 20 minutes. When the responding officer reached the Saturn, Maura was gone. The car remained. Some of her belongings remained. But there was no driver standing near the vehicle. No injured woman waiting for help. No one immediately visible walking along the road. Over the years, questions emerged about the exact arrival time of the first police vehicle and what certain witnesses saw near the Saturn. One witness, described in reporting as having seen a police SUV near the car before the official arrival time, became part of a disputed timeline. Some have argued that this suggests police may have been there earlier than originally understood. Others believe the confusion may have come from the darkness, difficulty estimating time, and overlapping emergency response. But even if the timing is debated, the central gap remains. Between the last known contact with Maura at the Saturn and the arrival of police, she disappeared. Whether that window was only several minutes or somewhat longer, it was not a long period of time. In that span, no confirmed witness saw her get into another vehicle. No confirmed witness saw her enter the woods. No confirmed witness saw her continue down Route 112. Police searched the immediate area that night. Conditions were cold, and snow was on the ground. Later search efforts expanded. Ground searches were conducted. Aerial searches were conducted. Search dogs were used. One dog reportedly tracked Maura's scent a short distance down the road from the Saturn before the trail ended. That detail has often been interpreted as a sign she may have entered another vehicle. But scent evidence is not absolute. Weather, passing traffic, time, and surface conditions can all affect a track. It is a clue, not a conclusion. The Saturn itself became the fixed point of the investigation. Inside and around the vehicle, investigators found details that pointed in different directions. Alcohol was in the car, including containers reportedly purchased earlier that day. There were signs that red wine had spilled or been present. A bottle containing liquid that smelled of alcohol was reported. These facts support the possibility that Maura had been drinking, or at least had alcohol with her, before or during the trip. But they do not explain what happened after she left the car. The airbags had deployed, and the vehicle was damaged, but the crash did not clearly indicate a fatal or incapacitating injury. Maura had spoken to Atwood after the accident. She was mobile. She was able to respond. Whatever happened next happened after she was still capable of leaving the scene. That is where speculation begins. But the evidence does not give investigators a clean direction. One of the most discussed physical details is the rag found in the tailpipe of the Saturn. Fred Murray later said he had advised Maura that if the car smoked, placing a rag in the tailpipe could help reduce visible exhaust smoke temporarily. Many observers have questioned the idea itself, and the rag has remained a source of debate. It may be connected to her father's advice. It may be incidental. It may be misunderstood. What it has never done is provide a clear answer. Some items were missing from the vehicle. Maura's cell phone was not recovered in the Saturn. Her credit cards and some personal items were also believed to be gone. That suggests she may have taken them with her when she left the car, though the public record does not prove exactly what she carried. The absence of those items matters because it suggests movement. Maura did not simply disappear from the driver's seat. At some point after the crash, she left the vehicle and may have taken belongings with her. Searches in the surrounding area did not find her. No body was discovered in the immediate woods. No confirmed remains have been identified as Maura. Over the years, tips came in. Possible sightings were reported. Leads were pursued across New Hampshire, Vermont, and beyond. Many remained unconfirmed or were found to be unrelated. The case grew larger, but the evidence stayed anchored to Route 112. Three main theories have continued to dominate public discussion. The first is that Maura left the crash scene to avoid police or to seek help, entered the woods or moved away from the road, and died from exposure. This theory is straightforward and grim. It was winter. It was dark. The area was rural and wooded. Maura may have been frightened, injured, impaired, or disoriented. A person trying to avoid police might leave the road quickly. A person unfamiliar with the area could become lost. Searches, even extensive searches, do not always locate remains in wooded terrain. But the theory has weaknesses. Snow can sometimes preserve tracks, depending on conditions. Searches found no confirmed trail leading into the woods. The dog track did not continue deep into the forest, and the area near the crash included homes, roads, and later search coverage. Exposure remains possible. It has never been proven. The second theory is that Maura accepted a ride from someone who passed the scene after Atwood left and before police arrived. This would explain the speed of the disappearance. A vehicle could have stopped briefly. Maura could have entered it. The driver could have left before police arrived. It would also fit the reported short scent trail and the lack of confirmed footprints leading into the woods. If that driver was a stranger who later harmed her, the case becomes a crime of opportunity. But this theory has its own problem. No such driver has been confirmed. No reliable witness has placed Maura in another vehicle. No suspect has been established in connection with a pickup at the crash scene. The road was not completely empty, but it was not busy enough to make that encounter certain. The ride theory solves how she vanished quickly, but it depends on an unseen person who has never been identified. The third theory is that Maura intended to disappear, or at least leave her life temporarily, and the crash interrupted that plan. This theory draws from the facts before the accident, the message about a death in the family, the packed car, the cash withdrawal, the alcohol purchase, and the drive north. Those actions suggest she was deliberately leaving Amherst and expected to be away. But planning to leave is not the same as planning to vanish forever. No verified new identity has emerged. No confirmed later contact has been established. No public evidence proves that she had help waiting nearby. And if the plan was to disappear, the crash placed her in an extremely vulnerable position, stranded on a freezing rural road with police only minutes away. That is why Maura Murray's disappearance remains so disturbing. The known facts do not end in complete darkness. They end under the glow of approaching help. A neighbor noticed the crash. A bus driver spoke to her. A 911 call was made. Police were on the way. The Saturn was still there when they arrived, damaged but real, full of objects that could be examined, photographed, and debated. Maura was gone. Before the crash, investigators can trace movement, campus messages, directions, an ATM withdrawal, purchases, a packed car, a northbound drive. After the crash, the record breaks into theories. Maybe she walked away. Maybe someone picked her up. Maybe she had a plan no one has ever uncovered. The Saturn separates the known from the unknown. On one side is a young woman leaving Amherst for reasons still not fully explained. On the other is a road where she vanished in minutes. So the unresolved question is this: in the short gap between the bus driver leaving and police arriving, how did Maura Murray disappear from Route 112 without a confirmed trace? Follow Whispered Cases for new cases every week.